Hi everyone, it is good to see you. Welcome to KREM 2 News at Noon. I'm Laura Papetti and we begin with this. Coming in new at noon, the battle between the Washington and Idaho governors continues today. KREM 2 News asked Idaho Governor Brad Little if he had a response to a letter that Washington's Governor Jay Inslee wrote, urging him not to sign a bill preventing adults from taking minors across state lines for abortions without a parent's consent.
Everything about it, but we'll be talking about it, what, Emily, in a week or so? Later this week.
All right, Governor Little, however, signed the bill into Idaho law a day after receiving the letter. That was 2 weeks ago when we talked to Governor Brad Little. Now, here is Governor Little's response to the letter. It says, quote, the law seeks only to prevent a minor girl from Idaho from being taken across state lines for an abortion without the knowledge and consent of her parent or guardian. Why do you not support that? The letter goes on to say the national media's and your efforts to exaggerate and misrepresent the bill only further complicate the process. It is a disservice to our citizens, end of quote. To read the letter in its full response to Governor Inslee, you can head to KREM.com. We have it posted there. And KREM 2 News has reached out to Governor Inslee's office to get a comment after the letter was sent to our newsroom. We'll update you with the very latest that's coming up on KREM 2 News at 4 o'clock and always on KREM.com. In the meantime, we're going to head outside. That's where we find Thomas Patrick. He is standing by. Little bit of everything out there today. We've seen sunshine, we've seen a little rain, and we're seeing some wind as well, Thomas.
Yeah, and the wind is pretty normal. It usually just circulates kind of around our building. At the moment, all is quiet, the calm before our next storm, if you will, because that storm front is only about 8 to 10 hours away. We can see that over western Washington. Look at that cloud cover really building in over now half of the state. Quite a lot of cumulus clouds, as we can tell, over our heads at the moment. Now, this cloud deck is going to build in quickly, but should stay very much dry today. We are not tracking those afternoon spotty showers. That is not in the works for this afternoon. Instead, all that energy will be used for that storm front that arrives late tonight. Look what happens. 9:10 p.m. is when the rain starts, but as temperatures dip down into the 30s, then snow will become a bit more likely for portions of the inland northwest. So the question becomes, how low do those snow levels drop? Does it get cold enough for that snow to stick? And we're going to go over all of those exact details in your full forecast in just a couple minutes here, so make sure to stay tuned for that.
Thomas, thank you. The clock is ticking for people who are staying at the Cannon Street shelter to clear out. The city of Spokane says it just can't afford to fund both the Cannon Street shelter and the Trent shelter. Right now, the city is working to transition people out of the Cannon Street shelter and into Trent. The city's contract with the shelter operator at Cannon expires at the end of May, but people are already being moved. The city says that's so everyone is not moved at once.
It's easier on both operator, but most importantly, it's easier on those who are transitioning from Cannon to Track or to another location so that they can do it in an orderly fashion, a managed fashion.
And we have seen the Cannon Street shelter get cleared out abruptly. This is video from nearly 3 years ago of the shelter's first operator sending guests on their way the day the contract ended. This time around, the city is hoping to avoid that similar chaotic transition.
Ultimately might gain, a little bit, maybe $1 million. We have a $25 million levy on the budget.
Today, the Coeur d'Alene School District will learn how much money it's going to get from the state of Idaho for its budget coming up next year. But on Friday, the district will consider declaring a financial emergency. This comes after a permanent $25 million levy failed back in March. Next month, the district will ask voters again to approve the levy, but this time it will be just for 2 years. The district superintendent telling us the financial emergency will give the district time to prepare if indeed the levy does fail.
Wide open, well, what's the best way to say it? There's a lot of concern with a lot of employees as to what the future of the school district may look like.
I'm at peace. I'm at peace with where I'm sitting. I'm at peace with whatever the outcome might be. I'm more focused on the students and what they're going to be losing out on.
The superintendent says most of its extracurriculars are at risk of being cut, including all sports. If the levy passes, the school board can rescind the financial emergency at that time. If it doesn't, the board will meet to figure out what programs to cut and make staff reductions as well. The superintendent estimates between 300 and 350 people will need to be laid off. 2 elementary schools are also at risk of closing.